Well, my name's John Smith. That's an easy one to remember, isn't it? And I joined the club as a 14-year-old back in the early 50s. And it was my life for many years. And it was probably one of the best things I ever did was joining a cycling club because, as you know, now we're still friends and we still get together on many occasions.
My name's Willie Horn. I joined just after John. As he says, we're still all friends and keeping going. And I did quite well out of the Kirkgate because I got a wife as well. So,
I suppose to kick off on this collage, really the best photograph on there is Willie with a very important shield, and I think Willie should talk about that because it's probably it's probably the most significant thing that any of us did.
It was the Gill shield. They were hairdressers in Leeds Market, and they provided us with the shield, didn't they?
Yeah.
We used to write for juniors.
It would be, yes, yeah.
And we held it for a year, and then it passed on. And it was a beautiful shield, really good quality.
I suppose the biggest problem in those years, in the early 50s right through to the 60s, was that national service kicked in. So lots of people went off to do national service and never came back to cycling. Others did, like Willie and I came back to it, fortunately. I suppose as far as this collage is concerned, really I've got my picture on there a couple of times. One really shouldn't be there, which is me at Roundy Park, and I suggest I'd probably come in last there as opposed to first. It looks like it's an individual pursuit, and that would be my excuse. But I was probably last because I was never that good. But I always say I was a very good competitor because I loved the sport and loved competing.
But times are so different. For all these time trials, we used to ride out. We haven't got cars. Carry your racing wheels on the side. Ride out to the event, which might be at York, Bridge. We'd meet at a ridiculous time because they used to start at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So if you were riding out to Bridge, you'd meet at 4. We'd ride out. Get to the event, change our wheels, do the race, finish, change our wheels back again, and then go meet the club.
Right, yeah.
They were really long days.
Yeah. We can remember going up in the Dales when you'd shout if there was a car coming. Well, you can imagine it now, being up in Littondale, you'd be hoarse, before you'd done a mile. That's what it was like in the olden days. On a club run, when they talk about doing 100 miles, in a day, well, we'd do 25 miles to the lunch stop, and then we'd go swimming and play football, and then do another 50 miles home, this sort of thing. So we were hardy souls, really, weren't we?